injury, my dear Watson. I've been doing it since middle school.
Well, that's it. We're back on the air.
Whoa!
They're all talking about how
My Job, really need to do this?
Sherlock Holmes is always ejaculating.
My Job, I think you've got it.
He ejaculated. Like, has this guy got nothing better to do with his time? All right, we're going to cover sports now here on Colbertradio.com. And, of course, the one thing that dominates the news for us right now happens to be the Winter Games.
Yeah! I'm digging the Winter Games, man.
Let me ask you something. When they go out and hit the rounds on the town, do the girls just flock around the guys from curling?
Yes, and there's a guy, maybe not from curling, but did you see what happened to that snowboarder? He was caught, he was out in town in Vancouver, and
Shaun
there was a
White?
girl, not Shaun White, the bronze medalist. He was also an American. He carried his bronze medal out in town, asked the girl to bite it, this very attractive young college-age girl bites his medal, and then she bites his medal down by the lower end of his pants while he hikes up his shirt in an obviously tasteless picture, or as I like to call it, the Tiger Woods photo. And then, it was one of those. And it's a beautiful young Asian girl, and then she's down there biting his medal, and his medal is right in front of his pants, and from the angle, it looks like she's giving him a Blue Klinsky. Or Lewinsky, I'm sorry, I pronounced that incorrect.
A Lewinsky.
It's a Blue Klinsky.
Very clever.
But I just can imagine.
For that.
Curling is my kind of Olympic event. It's the sort of thing that you can do while you're holding a beer in one hand.
That's right.
And pushing a rock with the other. Our own Dickie Storm was actually was into curling in high school and I think college. He also played hockey in college, but he did curling.
Sir, I contend that you could throw the javelin with a beer in one hand.
Yes, you could.
And the shot put.
Not very far. You never tell where it's going to land.
It's like
how about hockey? Men and women's. The American hockey team is doing phenomenal, especially the women.
Yes.
They slaughter everybody they go up against.
It's very true. But the men last night, heavy underdogs against Canada, wind up winning 5-3.
Were they really that heavy?
Yes, they were.
Were they really?
This is Canada's sport, man. This is what they do. They're bloodthirsty.
Canada was apparently the whole country of Canada was in a
they were watching that game.
They
moments of silence for the whole night.
There were tears and a lot of Molson Ices last night.
The Canadians are not out of the medal round yet. They just got to go to the losers bracket.
They're not.
No, they're not. But they lost to America.
It does make it. Yeah, they lost the United States.
You don't understand. This would be like us losing to Canada in baseball.
Everybody in Canada knows and probably plays hockey. In the United States, most of us go, what?
And when Montreal...
You do what on the ice?
When when the Toronto Blue Jays or Montreal Expos win the World Series, we all go, really? America's pastime? Come on.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So, when we beat them in hockey...
The same thing happens in Chicago, though, when the White Sox won the
World
Series.
Exactly. They're like,
no one cared.
Yeah, there wasn't even a shooting. Not in Chicago.
My brother lived in Chicago at the time, and he said, the day after, you couldn't tell anything happened. He said if the Cubs had won,
he said, get comfortable.
It was like a regular day. Anyway.
I think the Chicago White Sox should move to a town that appreciates them more.
Let's face it, in Chicago, they're all Cubs.
It's Cubbies, yeah, and I'm not saying that. I'm not knocking the Cubs fans or the White Sox, but that town is literally not big enough for two teams when one of your teams is the Cubs.
Maybe the White Sox should move to Springfield or something.
Sure. The Springfield White Sox. I like it.
They could change their names, the Springfield Lincolns.
I think
I'm gonna put that in the White Sox suggestion box.
I personally think they should move. They should do what they should do like the NFL did and become the Carolina White Sox.
All right. What about Bodie Miller?
What about him?
Didn't he win a gold medal finally?
Yes, he did.
What was the deal with him at Torino? He completely blew it at Torino, didn't he?
He was skiing drunk.
Yeah, he was supposed to be something like he was our big guy. He was going to win all these medals. He was stoned and drunk the whole time he was in.
Yeah, and let's face it, if you're stoned, you need to be snowboarding, not skiing. Yeah,
being stoned makes you better snowboarder, not a better.
The drug test and snowboarding are to make sure they've actually
men's
done
combined.
drugs.
No. Yeah. That's not good for downhill.
But that's it. Yeah, they had a new event, men's combine or whatever, or Super G or whatever.
Yeah, Super G.
Yeah. Did Apollo Ono get a gold? I know he got a silver.
He got a bronze.
He got one silver.
Yes, he got one silver, but this 2 nights ago he got a bronze in the men's 1500, and the Canadians tried to take him out. There were 2 Koreans.
Oh, I bet they were after his ass.
2 Koreans, 1 American, 2 Canadians.
Yeah.
Apollo Ono is in. I think he was in 4th. No, he was in. Yeah, he might have been in 4th. He was in between the 2 Canadian skaters, and he was poised to make his move. And one of the Canadian skaters gives him what in hockey amounts to a check. He pushes Apollo Ono. Apollo Ono loses his balance and goes Bat Dookie insane. I've given up swearing for Lent, so you're going to have to deal with the euphemism.
Okay.
He goes Bat Dookie insane trying to get back in the race and manages in the last 2 laps to come back from 5th to 3rd and secure a bronze, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's vicious. Short track skating is vicious.
It is very,
it's a very exciting thing to watch.
Gold at all. I mean, he's won a lot of medals.
He's won gold several times.
I think he's won a gold, yeah.
Because this was his 3rd Olympics. What about that Vaughn person?
That chick is great, man.
Yeah, she's fell
awesome.
in the women's combined, though, right? But she won the downhill.
That's right.
On a bum leg, she got down that mountain faster than anybody else.
And she's hot.
Yeah.
You know what's really awesome?
Her bum leg looks better than some people's good ones.
You know what I love about the downhill skiing is that they've got this way now of superimposing the image of each skier to show you exactly where they are at that time.
Right. It looks like they're going side by side.
Yeah, it looks like they're skiing side by side and running right through each other. It's really awesome to watch. You really get a sense of where they lose it and where they pick it up. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's Super
cool.
G. Well, she really got kind of screwed herself on the Super G. I watched the whole thing. It's interesting on that Super G course, they don't get to practice on the course.
Oh, really?
Right. All they can do is
Don't they run with 4 people at one time? 4 skiers at one time on the Super G?
No, Super G is.
You're talking about snowboarders.
No, there's one where they race 4 skiers at a time.
No, the
Yeah.
Super G is just this monster downhill thing, and they don't get to run the course like practice or anything. They can kind of survey the course, but they don't get to practice or anything. Yeah. So there's this. Vaughn went pretty early in the competition. It was this little hump, and she lost like fractions of a second, and she did not even place in that event. But she was very early in the event, but it was interesting because you see her. They showed a camera angle. She's going like this. I thought she was doing a Stevie Wonder thing, and she was visualizing the course in her head.
Oh yeah, I've watched them doing that. Yeah, and then you see them. They know when to make the move and everything else. Yeah. It's the same thing as when like guys come up in the batter's box. And you'll see them, and they'll time their practice swings to the pitch from the pitcher from the other side. Now that pisses off the pitcher from the other side. I've heard of coaches telling their pitchers to throw the ball at the guy at the batter's box for doing that. It ticks them off. They don't like it. But if I was in the batter's box and I'm doing that, and that guy throws that ball at me, he is now unarmed. And I got a bat in my hand. He better be faster than hell.
We know how that worked out for Robin Ventura when he charged the mound against Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, no kidding.
You never know what kind of wily pitchers you're dealing with.
Now we won gold. That Lysacek guy.
Yes, Evan Lysacek
won the men's gold in men's figure. That since 1988.
I guess.
Sorry, man. I'm having a real hard time watching men's figure skating because
I didn't watch it.
As hetero as they may think they are, those costumes are gay. Okay, don't have
the costumes are, but it's a common misconception to think that all figure skaters are gay.
I'm sorry, those outfits are gay. If they're not gay, then they need to wear some masculine outfits. Damn it.
I can tell
overalls.
I can tell you that guys who go into that sport who are straight are geniuses because there are so many gays. It's like theater.
Yeah.
Like the gay guys just pal around and start catching each other up.
They play grab ass with each other. Exactly. That means all the actresses and all the female figure skaters free.
That's right. And let's face it, you do one partner lift, and that might be considered a first date.
Who's the woman that won the women's ski jump thing? It's the moguls. They come down, they do the moguls, and when they get past moguls, they do 2 jumps. I can't remember her name. She won the gold.
Was that like the 16-year-old girl?
No, she was older than that. But well, anyway. Also, guys, college baseball opened this weekend.
Yeah. How's South Carolina doing this year?
Swept Duquesne.
Nice.
Gotta feel bad for Duquesne because their baseball program comes to an end at the end of the season.
They should win a national
championship. They can't afford to maintain
it, but they're not going to.
Clemson, South Carolina, all did well. College of Charleston, Citadel, all our teams did well. We have great baseball in South Carolina.
Yeah, this is a
great
good
baseball in the state.
I think it's because the weather is so, so favorable.
Yeah, we got plenty, few people and a lot of room.
That's right.
Batteries also report for the major leagues recently, so I'm looking forward to this. Anyway, we're running out of time. We'll be back. That's sports for Colbertradio.com today. We'll be right back.